back at the car. I've got some more AN lines, some nice AN10 stuff for the oil lines. I've got to finish off my oil relocation thingy. So I've got the fittings for that, so I need to start where to mount the oil cooler now. I'm gonna cut two little pieces off to finish off the subframe. Subframe's then completely done. I keep just little odd tiny little triangle pieces I need to put in there. I want to jack the rear end up, get the rear bumper off, and pull the old exhaust system out and cut the old back box off because that can bin, because I'm going to be using the old 2.5 inch to finish off my nice custom one. So 2.5 inch tip in with was meant to be a 3 inch tip, but it's 3.5 inch I'm pretty sure of. So what I'll do is I'll actually measure that. I'm not fast, I can put a nice downturn on that. Take measure. Yeah, I'll put a nice downturn tip on that. Yeah, as suspected, it's 3.5 inch, not 3 inch. Is what it is. I'll put a nice downturn on there, or I could always cut that off and do something. I don't know yet, but I need to get this little baffle piece out. So that's going to be my exhaust. What I'm going to do is something a little bit different. So I'm going to do a bumper cut again, but I'm going to do it a bit nicer and neater on this. I want to have the exhaust coming out not centre, but offset and at a slight angle and upwards. So the tip's going to come out like around here, and it will downturn a bit. So it'll come up and downturn a little bit. So probably, oh, shut up, Siri. So, yeah, it's going to be like, I don't know, that sort of angle. But we shall see. I'll see what I can do with this. But I need to get that bumper off first and start looking at that. I might give the car actually a quick jet blast as well today. Finish off the subframe. There's two little there and there, get those two pieces done. I might even pull out the gearbox as well. So I'll put the prop shaft in and start sorting out a little bit of the wiring. But my intake manifold has been welded up. I'll be picking that up tomorrow. So this is going to be, this is going to be a nice big Easter weekend special. I'll try and make it a 20 half hour minute video. So it's going to be a nice long video. People can watch, blah, blah, blah. Nice Easter one. So I was going to say, this is going to be the start of the video. It's going to jump back 1 or 2 days because there's odd little machining parts in the videos, or odd little machining clips that I've done through the week, which I'm going to put into this video. So it's going to jump to that now. Then after that, it'll probably be back in here for whenever I've done that. And tomorrow, which I'll pick up the engine and intake manifold and put that in the car with the engine mounts, with the gearbox bolted on, and the exhaust manifold. So I can start making the full exhaust system as well as see where it's going to sit with the intake manifold in the car. And then I can also start sorting out the full fuel lines or AN lines as well. Exhaust system, starter motor. I've got a starter motor finally, a Mark 1 MX-5 starter motor, because they're self-regulating. I can't be bothered to mess around, do some extra wiring, put it into the ECU, get the ECU to run it and regulate it and stuff. When the Mark 1 MX-5 will do that anyway. Yeah, start sorting out wiring, rear bumper, what else? I think that might be it, but hopefully this weekend get a hell of a lot of stuff done and another step closer to the MX-5. And the next week I can make the special custom mount for the alternator, and I'm going to modify this pulley to run a water pump one, because I did pick up the aluminium or billet alley crank pulley, water pump pulley, but he didn't have an alternator pulley. Don't know where that went. So what I'm doing, modify this one so it runs the water pump one and in the right position, and then get a correct length bout, because I've worked out bouts are done on a code. So I think it's like 5VPK1000, so it's like a 5 ridge or 5 ridge bout, PK, I don't know what that stands for, and then like 1,000 would be 1,000 millimeters in circumference or length. I don't know. I'll have to have a look at that later, but I need to work that out. So yeah, I think might set up the GoPros. I have got them with me. Might do some time lapses. I'm not sure if you enjoy the time lapses or not, or they're too long or whatever. Let me know. Yeah, let me know. Comment whatever, blah blah. And I'll do more or won't do them or whatever. I don't know. I'm on my own today, so hopefully no cutting fingers off and stuff. And crack on from there. Very busy with a lot of stuff. The intake manifold I failed at. I'm going to get a mate to do because aluminium welding I've lost my technique or whatever with. Got my little plate for the where used to go the oil filter, because obviously the oil filter's been relocated, tapped through into there, and then obviously a nice air line, which is my first ever created air line. Obviously for the external oil mod, all nicely done now, so they're ready to go whenever I come to doing that. What's left to do? So yes, intake manifold, which I'll be getting done at some point, hopefully soon. Hopefully maybe next week or something like that. Not sure yet. We shall see. But exhaust port now is done on both of them. So that one just needs obviously porting all out. This one's almost done. Well, they're basically pretty much done. I think I'm going to leave them for now, and then when I run it for a while, I'll strip it down, rebuild and inspect and see if it's leaked or not. So that one's just got that side's just got to finish off, and obviously I've still got to port the irons. But that's no stress there. Doughty seals, because obviously then they have washer O-rings on, steel washers with seals on, which are basically Doughty seals. So I just ordered Doughty seals instead to save myself some money there. You're all going to complain, why are you going to cut? You'll save money, but don't care. Little bracket's been made up and welded for the external oil mod, which will then sit upright. It'll mount to where the old corn hose used to go. So that's that sorted. What else have I got to do? Finally getting the last little bits done for the rotors. So at the moment, I'm just set up the jigging. I'm just doing some test cuts and getting the measurements correct to what I need them to. I'll explain in a sec what it is I'm doing. What am I doing? So, obviously rotor, I've obviously deepened these slots, because that's a stock RX-5 rotor. And they use these two-piece metal ones instead of the rubber-like ones. So you have your insert there, and then your outer pipe. What I'm doing is actually machining the slot into the steel with these ones, so I can run the stock seals, the metal side seals, a bit better and stronger than the RX-7 ones, and instead of running one-piece ones, which I have heard people apparently have issues with. But yeah, I'll show you the jigging up in a sec. Obviously, to run the RX-7 Apex seals, it's got to sit into this centerpiece.
Several days later.
Starting off, front end. Engine bay's now welded up. I haven't sprayed it with anything because it's all in the box, and I've got to go to the gym and I can't be bothered to pull the box out. But yeah, subframe is now fully completed, so I'm just going to wire wheel that at some point, wire wheel that all down, and then spray it. But that's ready for tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get the engine with the intake manifold, get the exhaust manifold bolted on, get that all in there, see where the position of the intake manifold is, then finish off the whole exhaust system. Round the back here, I've got my old bumper, which, yeah, goodbye, big cracks and all kinds of shit on there. Sadly, I had no way to save this one, so it's been chucked. I have got a nice new rear bumper. Got it all off. Now everyone knows how much of a pain in the ass these can be, because of these rust out, and then the top holes around the top here and the bolt and everything, they rust and they snap inside. That's all. This chunk, I've cut this chunk out here because it was horrendously rusty and bad, so I've cut that out. I might neaten that up and do something with that at some point. For this, I'm gonna wire wheel most of all of this, clean it all up, and then spray it black. Nice little rust hole there, so I'm not going to poke away at it. I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to touch it, because I don't want to disturb this seal and pull that out. If that's sealing, then fine. So I don't know, I might just pop some filler over that or something, or wire wheel it and then clean it up. I'll deal with that at a later date. But yeah, I'm going to cut that all off, and then paint it all black. Underneath it, it's not too bad. pretty good. And then dealing with this quarter, this dent here. So I have two ideas for this quarter. Let's go 0.5. Oh, we can't go 0.5. Two ideas this quarter. Either fill it, smooth it out, make it look nice, cut it out and find someone breaking a car so I can get that cut segment out and then weld it in place and clean it up. Or I do what, shout out to Billy Humphreys, who's doing a CA18 swap MX-5. He's cut all the way round out all of this quarter and then put over fenders on there, like a little bit wider, which I might need because I'm gonna have to run some big meaty tyres. So we shall see about that. I'm not sure yet, but I have got my skirt, so I'm not sure about that. We shall see. Smack what you think I should do in the comments. Otherwise, what I might do before the show season, before you've even started thinking about sorting this out, I might just load a filler and just do it, or just take off all the paint chip and then spray it and clean it up. So it's a bit of a dent, but it's all cleaned up. That I'll worry about at a later date. Coming over this side, found this little thingy here, so that's been bent out. I'll try and bend that back in a bit, but hey ho. And then this side I will try and, if I cut this dip out here, I'm going to have to weld a plate in there. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this side yet. I might just have this come across the same all the way up and then just clean this edge up. But either way, the rear end is now ready for me to get the full exhaust system done. And clean it up and paint it and everything, and then get the new rear bumper on there with the bumper cut, which I will sort after I've done the exhaust, full exhaust system. I can drop it down on the floor. Oh, there we go. And there we go. So, I was, if I had the time, I was going to jet blast the car and give it a clean, but I ran out of time for today, so I might have to do it another day. I'm probably going to clean off the hard top, take out that sticker, take that sticker off. This one needs to come off. You'll find out why in the future. And I think I'm going to keep my lucky Pikachu and my no friends only fans sticker there. But I need to start giving the inside of the car a clean out. Need to replace that shitty steering wheel. So this is going to be a nice busy weekend. I need to stop saying up. Don't smack me head on the roof. You just bastard. I just pinched my finger. Yep, there's a bub blessed up. I just got rid of one. Yeah. Nice long video this Easter weekend, something to just chill out. When you get on Monday, I don't know, try and do it Monday actually. I'll try and get it uploaded Monday, we shall see. Or do some more on Monday, we shall see. I need to also raise the rear end. Because I've dropped the front subframe, it's effectively raising the car. I need to rise the front up a little bit as well, but maybe that's something I'll do next week, or in the weekend, or afterwards or in the week. Getting there. So, I imagine it's going to be disappear from me, or goodbye from me now, and hello, me in the future. I would say good morning, but it's now afternoon. I've just had lunch. I didn't do any start of the video this morning because I've been very busy talking to a lot of people. I'm just getting out of the car. Anyway, I've got the engine back, and I'll show you why I've got the engine back. Mate sorted out the itchy tongue. Mate has sorted out the intake manifold. Got that welded up for me, which a huge thank you to you, Mr. Isaac Ben. Done a great job. It doesn't look the greatest. Pretty good actually, to be fair, for alley welds, especially for me. I'm happy with it. It just needed to work. I just needed to get it done. Simple as that. And it wasn't the easiest. I gave him not great materials. Good alley, but it wasn't that clean. But he's got it done, so I'm going to get that bolted up in a sec, along with the exhaust manifold, just to see how it looks, and get cracking on the actual full exhaust system itself. So this is the intake manifold. Obviously I gave him the intake flange. He's welded up the runners. I know this is not his best job. Some good dimes though, but he does far better work. But I just wanted him to smash this out and get it working and running. And what I'll do is just port them. But this will do for now, so I'm going to get this bolted up as well as the exhaust manifold, see how this looks, see what position the intake runners and the ITBs sit at, and then get cracking on the full exhaust system. A bit of progress has been made. Annoyingly, I've had to, all MX-5s have this ridge come around this corner. I've had to cut those off. to get it fit. I could probably mill this flange down if I'm out in a mill somehow, making it a bit shorter. I probably could do. I might try and work out how to do that. But otherwise, I was excited to smash a job on this. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Well, I shouldn't really say company he works for or whatever, but his own company. I'm not saying anything, but he's done a smash job on this, and fair play to him. Or it might be I use a heat torch, heat them up as hot as possible. All the runners heat them up as hot as possible, then try and pull it upwards. So I don't have to do anything. I might have to do that in a week, but otherwise I've removed the injector rail because this is in the way. So I might have to go for the Mark II brake master cylinder that only has 2 lines, and then use one for the left, one for the right on the fronts. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but it's nice to see the ITB. Oh my god! Didn't see that. It's nice to actually see the ITB is mounted on the engine with the exhaust manifold down there as well. So I think I've got some work to do for the fuel rails and the brake lines, but I'm gonna drop the jack because the engines at the moment they're not bolted in, but they are on their mounting blocks either side, so that might vary a little bit. I might try and make them a little bit longer and just try and get the engines sit a tiny bit higher. We shall see. I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, I've just found 2 nuts down there. But I'm going to drop the jack up the rear end so I can start making I'll start sorting out the exhaust. I'm going to start pulling off the rear bumper so I can get a look at behind there and get the bumper out of the way so I can get the new one on and just get some sort of idea. But I need to get this rear panel on. I do not want to damage this one bit, so I'm going to get this off nice and clean, tidy, get the lights out possibly, and then get the rear bumper off. I'm not sure if I need to get the lights out, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, so I'm going to set you up on a time lapse. So I've just cleaned up and finished up for the day, being Easter. This is the day before Easter. Got to go have some food. A nice roast. Anyway, intake manifold's in. Again, it's just nicking at this corner around here, so I might get a blowtorch on them, heat them up really hot, and then pull upwards. The engine mounts, the bushes are just sat there at the moment, they're not actually bolted in, so it might change a little bit. So I think, yeah, I'm going to borrow the blowtorch, get it really hot in the week, and then pull it upwards. So the engine's going to stay there for now, the intake manifold's going to stay there for now. I can't do loads because this here is obviously going to hit that, so I just need to bend it up enough so it's sat about there, which is going to give me plenty of clearance down there. Then I'm going to put a 90 AN90 fitting there, and have the fuel line run down, like I explained. And the exhaust manifold's now being made, so obviously V-band on the thing. V-band there, and it will slowly come across back over this side, all the way across. And then, where my nice tip is, because it's 2.5 inch that side, straight through, with, I was wanting a 3 inch, but 3.5 inch, it'll do. What I'll do is I'll get it to sit probably about that sort of angle, coming out the bumper, and then it will be a downturn tip on that, little bit to the 5 series where it's like off center like that, but more of an angle, and then it'll be a downturn tip on that, the bumper cut. Anyway, bit more of a just a showy, chatty video today. Well, actually, no, not today, because all are going to be all is one. Bit more just showy, chatty today for myself. I'm going to try and do some nice time lapses Monday. Getting the full exhaust system done, sorting out the rear bumper cut, and maybe start looking at the fuel lines and wiring. Not sure on that part. I might have to do that in a week. Slow progress, but I'm getting there. And I'm probably going to slap the camera now and over to myself. Back again. I'm not going to do any explanations. I'm just going to crack on into the video. Wiring, I've started to strip the old loom or the old protective loom off the loom. So I've got two parts here. I've got my coil pack loom there, which I'm going to make some adjustments to. That just goes to a single plug. I'm going to order the lovely fabric loom tape, and then obviously that's my injector loom, which needs some adjustments as well. So they're both stripped, so I can clean them at some point and start prepping them. Hopefully get the exhaust done and fitted fully up to date. So what I'm going to do is the new bumper, I'm going to unbolt that from that, fit that up, notch the bumper where I want I'm only just going to notch the bumper for now where where I want the back box to sit. So now I can actually see how far the tip's going to stick out, and then when I put downturn tip on it, then I'm going to get the full exhaust system finished, hopefully today, so I need to do that in a sec. Engine bay wise, I've started to think about where wiring's got to go, so obviously that's my CAS sensor, so I need to trim that and sort that out for the crank sensor. That is, can't remember now. And then that's obviously for the coil pack, not the coil pack, the injectors, and that's another part of the loom, can't remember what it was now. That's alternator, which needs to be extended, moved round to here. So I think a lot of this wiring, that's obviously starter motor, which is going to be down there. So that main part of the loom needs cutting up, sorting, adjusting, and neatening up and tidying up. And then the rest of it's all just headlight wiring, which I'm going to tuck down the side of the fenders to clean up. And then you start looking at braided brake lines and stuff. I'm going to grab myself a Mark II Brake Master so I can, get rid of the bias and just run the front brakes. Obviously rear brake will be still on handbrake. I need to pick up a slow cylinder for there at some point soon. But yeah, I just want to clean up some of this wiring, and then at some point start cleaning up the engine bay. But yes, exhaust manifold today. Get that finished up as well. Yeah, exhaust manifold. So what I'm going to do is jack the car up. I'll set up the GoPro. Part of the exhaust is there, already partly done. V-band again, not the greatest welds, but it'll do the job. And hopefully I've got enough few little offcuts there and some nice tube that I shouldn't run out, and I should actually be able to complete the lot. Yeah, I got all that left. Oh, I've got plenty left. So I use all that as well. Yeah, I'm going to set up the GoPro, jack up the rear end, and crack on with finishing the exhaust, because at the moment it sits about there. Finish it to us about there, get the rear bumper on, and see where it's all going to sit. And then cut and trim the rear bumper. So yeah, GoPro time, I think. Sun keeps going in and coming out, but a bit more success done. The mounting brackets for the rear bumper I've now shortened massively and bolted on. So all I'm going to do is mount up the bumper now. I removed the rear fog light thinking there was going to be a massive hole here, but it turns out this is the point here. So what I might do is try and get that or that part of the exhaust port or the exhaust hole, and then maybe even have it come down a little bit more instead of being quite so high up. I'm not sure how I'm going to work this out, but I'm going to get this bolted up now, or well, around the top here, so it fits nicely around there, and then look where I'm going to cut and have my hole coming out, because I want it about offset like through there. So it might be I'll have a notch upwards a little bit for the tip, but it comes down to match the height of that, or might just have it match the height of that all the way across, and then the tip coming up at a nice angle. So I think I'm going to rough cut there. I'm going to use a rule from that edge down to about midpoint there, mark that across the whole length up to probably about here, and then just cut roughly, and then what I'll do is I'll get it to match up with that point all the way across to round here where it's already been cut, I think. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to get the match up somehow. So what I might do is actually just notch that small chunk out for now, just to get the exhaust done. So I'm gonna get that bolted up, then we shall see. But this one's really very nice, clean, no cracks or anything. The paint's obviously not great, but we'll get that sorted. We even got mud flaps, so I might actually even keep these mud flaps, the original mud flaps, take them off and get them resprayed properly as well. I got lucky with this bumper actually. I'm pretty sure I'm quite happy with it. Sadly, this one's had some abuse, been cut, damaged and all sorts. But yeah, I put up the rear bumper. Obviously there's only a few of these little clips in place. It's nothing perfect. That'll sit back there, but I think the bumper needs to move across a little bit that way. But for now, happy with that, and I've just notched this part here just to get me to sort out the exhaust. So I'm going to weld up a hanger somewhere up here, round about there, which I don't know where I'll put it to now. And then I'm going to tack the other end to the actual silencer where I want it to be, so it should just hang down. Then I'll do another hanger somewhere back there, and just some light tacks, see where it sits, and hopefully it sits. Because what I've had a thought, so what I might do with it is, because obviously it's only going to be this back box, obviously they've got the silencer in there. If I put a downturn on there, I can't remove this or put this in. So I thought what I might do is put a 3.5 inch V-band clamp on here, or V-band on here, have this sit a bit more back, and then I can have either another 3.5 inch V-band straight piece, or a downturn, and it means I can just remove it, put the silencer in and out, and then decide which tip I want. It means I can take the silencer piece in and out, and then swap tips. So I'm going to have to get this to sit a little bit further back, but that's not an issue. So I'm going to tack, here we go. So I'll tack that on the inside somewhere, then that can then just tack somewhere on there. It's, I don't know, some sort of angle or something or other. Just get it sit, and then I've got this longer hanger, which I'll do lower, nearer down the bottom, and then hanger inside the car. So I'm gonna again set up the GoPro, get time lapsing, and get the silencer in place. Then once the silencer is in place, I can then finish off the downpipe back. finally finished up welding. I welded the hanger to the underneath of the car, and I managed to, well, an old hanger and a bit of studding to fix that hanger. So this is now done. I've got a slight angle on it. I'm going to cut that angle a little bit nicer. Then I'm going to mount up the V-band piece, mount that up, and finally finish off the exhaust. Weird. Finally finish off the exhaust system. Finally, the exhaust system is done. So that's how it's at the moment. Honestly, I'll get the exhaust made a bit better at a later date, but at the moment it's perfectly fine. It'll do the job. It works. It functions. And then yeah, that's how it's going to sit there. Then what I'll do is I'll have my 3-inch tip either continue up or it'll come up and then rotate down a bit. Yeah, finally the exhaust is done, and then the bumper I'll sort out when I can get round to it. So what I'm going to do, probably pull it off now, finish up some of the welds, and then I'm going to pack up for the rest of the day, load the car on its jack. I'm going to cut open the alternator, take that to work so I can sort out the alternator. What other bits and bobs have I got to do? Not too sure to be honest. I'm going to grab a Dremel as well, so in the week or next week I can port polish the runners and start porting out the things as well and start prepping them for cleaning. There's lots of wiring as well to do, but I'm getting there slowly. So I think I'm going to wrap it up for today. Well, not for today, yes, for today and this video actually. Hopefully it's a nice longer video. Again, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, whatever. Instagram's down in the description if you want to go check out there. I post a lot more machining and stuff and whatnot on there as well, and little updates. But yeah, this needs to be ready and running. This needs to be running and driving by the 11th of May. So I'm going to be at Retro Rides, hopefully. So it won't be looking the best, but it will be running when there. And then after that, I will start getting it nice and presentable, because I don't think the next show after Retro Rides that I'm going to take this car to won't be until, I can't remember when. But yeah, thanks for watching. Again, subscribe, like, comment, whatever. Yeah, hope everyone has had a great Easter.